Så først og fremmest skal jeg lige bede om jeres fulde opmærksomhed, fordi det selvfølgelig er jeres sikkerhed vores første prioritet her ombord. Og vi kommer til at sejle under mange meget lave broer i dag, så det er vigtigt, at man lige bliver siddende ned. Pas på hovedet, holder arme og ben inden for, ikke rør ved broerne. Så er det her også en røgfri båd, og vi har redningsveste under alle sæderne. So first of all, I just need your full attention because of course your safety is our #1 priority here on board. We are going to be sailing under a lot of very low bridges today, so please stay seated under the bridges, mind your head, keep hands, arms, legs and so on inside the boat. Don't touch the bridges, this can be very dangerous. This also goes for your children. This is also a non-smoking boat that also goes for e-cigarettes and vaping, and we have life vests under every seat. So, welcome on board. Today our captain is David and my name is Charlotte and I will be your guide. Så velkommen ombord i dag, der er det David, der er vores kaptajn, og mig, Charlotte, der skal være jeres guide. Så skal jeg bare lige spørge, om der godt kunne tænke sig, at turen bliver guidet på dansk, så må man gerne lige række hånden op, så jeg kan se, yes, jeg ser jer good. We have our first bridge coming up now, so please stay seated and mind your head. Thank you. Okay, so we are starting to form a little bit of a sad note, because if you look up here on your right side, you can see what is left from our 400-year-old stock exchange that burned down almost 2 months ago now, and we were supposed to celebrate 400 years this year. They were renovating it for a brand like reopening, but as you can see, it ended very terribly. Ja, så har vi altså børsen her på højre side, så vi starter lidt på en kedelig note her, og vi skulle ellers have fejret 400 års jubilæum, derfor man renoverede bygningen, men så var der altså noget, der gik rigtig galt, som I kan se heroppe, så jeg desværre brændte meget bygning og sådan noget til grunden. Yeah, we have our next bridge coming up, so please stay seated and mind your head. Thank you. And he actually designed everything in there, from the tables to the chairs to the outside, and then unfortunately he died before it was finished. Ja, der er altså Nationalbanken her på venstre side med den her store moderne bygning, som er designet af Arne Jacobsen, som også designede alt derinde fra stolene til bordene til ydersidens døde, altså desværre, inden at bygningen var færdig. And on your right side we have the kayak bar, a super popular place to both eat and rent a kayak. Ja, så på højre side har vi kajakbar, som er et godt sted både hvis man skal lege kajak eller bare have en godt måltid med. We have our next bridge coming up, so please stay seated and mind your head. Thank you. Smaller boats and bigger boats and harbor buses, canal cruises, and an Admiral Spritz boat as well here coming up on your left side, and also people kayaking and swimming. There's a lot of going on here in the harbor, and of course course, here at Summer, we also want to participate in keeping the harbor clean because we also use the harbor a lot. So we have put out fish kindergartens all around the harbor, so the fish they have a place to hide and breed. We also have the underwater trash bins in some of the canals where we can suck in the trash so we can remove it from the water, so it is safe for everybody to use. So when you bought a ticket here for the canal cruise today here at Strømmen, you're also supporting these initiatives. So thank you for helping us keeping the harbor clean and safe for everybody to use. Ja, så som I kan se her i dag, så er der altså fin trafik i havnen, og der er både store både og små både, også folk på havnebus og kanalmodparter. Der er også folk, der skal ud i havnen til at tage på jagt og bade. Og der skal selvfølgelig have plads til alle, og det skal være sikkert i havnen. Så her på Strømmen, der er vi også gået med i nogle til at holde havnen af, blandt andet ved at have fiskebørnehaver rundt omkring i havnen. Vi har også undersøiske skraldespand, som du også har lidt fra kanalerne, og så kan vi fjerne det fra vandet, sådan så det ikke påvirker vejr. Så da I valgte at sejle med os i dag, så støtter jeg også de initiativer. Så tak for, at I hjælper os med at holde Københavns Havn sikker og ren for alle der både. Yeah, and if you look up here on your left side, we have this long green building with a clock on top. And this here is where people would wait when they would go with the ferry to Sweden, because it wasn't actually until the year 2000 that we got a bridge between Denmark and Sweden. So now you can just drive there, or you can take the train. It takes around 15-20 minutes to go there, so very, very fast. So no more need for the ferry, so instead it has been turned into a restaurant and an exclusive club in there. Så har vi den gamle færgeterminal herovre på venstre side, det er en lange grønne bygning her med hus på top. Og det var altså her, hvor man ventede, når man skulle med færgen til Sverige. Og det var altså før 2000, hvor vi jo fik Øresundsbroen. Og ja, nu kan man bare køre til Sverige i bil eller i tog, så er man derovre på cirka 15-20 minutter. Men altså dengang, der skulle man, man kunne til blandt andet til den færge, der sejlede herfra. Og der er også ikke brug for færgen derfra længere, så i stedet for, så er det altså en eksklusiv klub og en restaurant i dag. Yeah, and now we have a large bridge in front of us, and this is the kissing bridge, and the myth says that if you kiss your loved one under the bridge, you will stay together forever. Ja, så har vi altså kyssebroen lige foran os, og der siger den her nye myte, at hvis man kysser sin elskede under broen, så bliver man sammen for evigt. Yeah, so it's now or never, so there's a nu eller aldrig. Yeah, okay, it's up to you guys. And just after the bridge, here on your left side, we have a look at Nyhavn. Yes, the beautiful canal of Nyhavn. Så har vi Nyhavn her på venstre side. And yeah, you probably all seen pictures of these beautiful colored houses before you came to Copenhagen, because it's a very popular area and a lot of pictures online. And yeah, if you haven't already taken a stroll through the canal, I would definitely recommend doing that. The canal was dug out 350 years ago by Swedish war prisoners and Danish soldiers, and it used to be only sailors in this area, but today it is mostly tourists and local families, not so many sailors anymore. Ja, så havde vi altså lige kigget til Nyhavn, jo, man kan se den her 350 år gamle kanal, som blev udgravet af svenske krigsfanger og danske soldater, og dengang hun blev bygget, var det primært sømænd, der var i området, men i dag der er det altså flest turister og lokale familier, der skal have is og frokost. Yeah, if we look here on our right side, we have some construction going on. This here's the Paper Island. It used to be the home of a very popular street food market, but because of the housing crisis, they needed more space to build apartments. So to end the housing crisis, they are now building the most expensive apartments in all of Denmark. Ja, så har vi altså papirringen herinde på venstre side, som er der, hvor man havde et rigtig populært madmarked, men nu skal man altså bygge flere lejligheder, så for lige at hjælpe på boligmarkedet, så bygger man altså nogle af Danmarks dyreste lejligheder herinde. Yeah, and also coming up in front of us, right now on our right side, but will be on our left side soon, we have a small park. This here's the Opera Park, and just beside the Opera Park here, now on your left side, we have this large modern building. This is the Opera House of Copenhagen. It was a gift from the former CEO of Maersk, the container shipping company, to the city of Copenhagen and the Danish people. Så har vi altså operaen herinde på venstre side, som var en gave fra Maersk Mc-Kinney Møller til de danske folk og København. Og så her lige ved siden af operaen og ud til os herude til vandet, der har vi altså Operaparken, som åbnede her i år og altså allerede blevet rigtig populær. Yeah, and the Opera Park we're sailing past now here on the left side already gotten super popular because they have a very nice cafe and restaurant. We are going into a smaller canal now, and this is a quiet zone because of the neighbors. So you guys are more than welcome to talk with each other, but I will have a break with the microphone and I will of course warn you about the bitches. Så er det en stille zone nu, Sir in the back, can you sit down? Can you sit down? Thank you. We have our next bridge coming, so please stay seated and raise your hand. Thank you. Okay, so we are out of the quiet zone now, and if we look in here on our left side, we have a lot of small like houses here, and these houses they actually stand as a reminder of yeah, something very terrible happening in Copenhagen, because around 200 years ago we were bombed for 3 days by the English because we didn't choose if we wanted to be with Napoleon or not. So they just came here and chose for us and bombed us for 3 days, so our city burned and took our entire fleet. So that was not really so good. It took us some years to get over that. And the only boats we were left with were small cannon boats that could fit in these houses. So that's yeah, the story about these houses. But they are not used for that anymore because we don't have these boats anymore. So instead now it's used for storing kayaks, also art galleries and small shops and stuff like that. So completely different here. Ja, så har vi altså de gamle kanonbådshuse herinde til venstre, de her sorte huse. Og det var altså et minde fra dengang, hvor englænderne de kom og bombede os for cirka 200 år siden i Københavns bombardement, som varede 3 dage. Og der tog de også vores flåde. Og så var det, at vi kun havde sådan nogle små kanonbåde tilbage, som altså kunne være inde i de her huse. I dag der bliver det selvfølgelig ikke brugt til det længere. Vi har ikke længere de her kanonbåde, så i stedet for så har vi altså i stedet en masse små butikker og sådan nogle kunstgallerier, og så har vi også noget kajakopbevaring og sådan lidt lettere. Yeah, and this entire area here that we are sailing in now used to be only used by the military, actually on both sides, also the green side you have here on the right side, but this is actually also the back side of the free town of Christiania here on your right side. So yeah, maybe some of you heard that in the 1970s there were a lot of free-spirited people here in Copenhagen, and they just took some of the old military buildings out here yeah, on this area is called Holmen, and they just chose to make their own society out here. Ja, så har vi altså også bagsiden af Christiania her på vores højre side. Det er altså alt det her grønne her, og det var jo altså dengang i 70'erne, hvor der var nogen, der valgte, at de ikke ville være en del af det danske samfund. Så de gik altså herude på Holmen, og så tog de altså nogle af de her gamle militærbarakker, som ikke blev brugt længere, og så tog de det og lavede deres eget samfund, som altså ja, den dag i dag er Christiania. Yeah, so we are soon going to be out in the big harbor again, and out there we will be able to see a military area that's still being used, because as I said, all of this used to be only by the military, but really not anymore. A lot of it has been turned into something else, but we will be seeing some parts that are still active by the military. Ja, så kommer vi altså ud i den store havn igen, og så kommer vi til at se et område, som stadigvæk er i brug af militæret, som jeg siger, så er det farvet værd fra militæret, men det er altså ikke længere, men der er stadigvæk et par steder, der er i brug. We have a bridge coming, so please stay seated and wait for it. Thank you. Yeah, and right here on your left side, we have a small hotel and all of them are small radio. Så har vi det næste hotel i Lille Sammen, og et lille rum her til venstre. There's a one room and also a kayak parking underneath. Yes. Så der er et værelse på hotellet, og så kan man altså også få parkeret sin kajak, hvis man kommer i kajak, fordi der er sådan en ledning om det til vinden. Yeah, and also if you look a little bit further ahead, also on our left side, we have this old ferry here that also turned into a houseboat. So it used to be transporting cars to Danish islands, but it has now been turned into a whole park, garden, and houseboat. Ja, så har vi altså den gamle færge her, så på Rose, som altså plejede at sejle med 2 danske øer, og den er så blevet lavet om til en isbåd nu også forbi en lille skov faktisk også, så ja, det var også yeah, so now here on your right side we have what is still used by the military, so because Danmark er Frederikshavn altså mest kendt for at komme til at springe 4 sommerhuse i luften, da vi kom til at afføre 4 missiler. Men det er faktisk også, var jo faktisk også det fra flagskibet, som den flåde under den kommende krig, og hvis man har lyst, så kan man også besøge Frederikshavn den dag i dag. Yeah, and also here on our right side now, out in the horizon, we have this large gray building here, and we have a lot of steam coming out on the top. And this here is actually, it's called Copenhagen, and they are actually producing around 25% of all electricity to Copenhagen because they are burning off waste. But they are also, turn it into a ski hill. Yeah. So you can see it going downwards like this. That's where you can go on skis, and you can do it every day of the year, also the day like today, because they use some special grass. Because maybe you already noticed that Denmark is a super flat country, so before Copenhagen you had to go to another country to ski, but not anymore. Now you can just go out here and ski down here. So yeah, you probably didn't know that you should have brought your skis on this vacation, huh? Ja, så har vi altså Amager Bakke herude på højre side grå bygning her, hvor der kommer en masse damp op og top, og det er fordi man altså brænder træt af, så man producerer ca. 25% af alt strøm til København. Men man har også været meget plads til at bygge Amager Bakke, man har så lavet op til en skibakke, og det er så her, hvor den går sådan skråt ned, der kan man gå på ski, og det kan man gøre hele året, fordi at det er simpelthen brugt noget specielt kunstgræs på overfladen, så man kan også gøre sådan en dag på en dag som en dag. Og det er jo altså fordi, ja, ellers så skal man jo til et andet land, hvis man står på ski. Men det skal man så også ikke, det kan man bare tage herud på Refshaleøen Amager, og så kan man gå på ski derude. Yeah, and as we are turning now, also on your right side a little bit here in front of us, we have this fortress here with a red roof. And this here is Battery 6 and they are, that's also still in use by the Navy, and they are very known for always marking the sunrise and the sunset, because they have patterns on the shore, as you will see when you get a little closer on the grass. But the only issue is that there are people living very close actually here in the houseboat harbor, also straightforward, and yeah, the cannons are very loud, and naturally the sun will rise around 4:30 in the summer in the morning here in Denmark. Yeah. So the neighbors, they were getting tired of getting woken up that early, so they made an agreement now that the sun will officially rise at 8 a.m. Ja, så har vi altså Batteri 6 her foran, som er det her store kort her med et røde tag. Og Batteri 6 er jo mest kendt for i dag, og altid markerer solopgangen og solopgangen. Det kan vi se med de kanoner, der står her på siden oppe på græsset. Og det er sådan, at solen står jo altså ret tidligt op om sommeren her om morgenen i Danmark. Så derfor så naboerne, der bor i Husbådhavnen, som vi også sejler forbi nu inde på højre side, de blev altså lidt trætte af at blive vækket så tidligt. Så nu har man altså lavet den aftale, at solen altid står op kl. 8 om morgenen. Yeah, you can see the houseboat harbor coming right here also on your right side. A lot of different houseboats and ways of living here outside in Refshaleøen. Der er altså husbådhavn her, der kommer lige her. Der kan se, der er en masse forskellige bud på, hvordan en husbåd kan se ud. And yeah, we also have the harbor bus here in front of us, the yellow boat. Have a big house booth following us, and yeah, the harbor bus has gotten very popular over these last 5 years, giving us some waves as well. Because it is connecting the city on both sides, because it's in Copenhagen port and just into by the water. So we have with information from Venice brought these beautiful harbor buses here, and they are zigzagging their way through Copenhagen, and you can also use them if you have like a travel card. You can even also bring your bicycle with you. So yeah, very important today to always be able to bring your bicycle with you. Ja, så har vi altså lige havnebuden, som sejler forbi der. Den er altså med inspiration fra havnebuserne i ganske lige nu, men jeg vil stadig ikke falde i at zoome ind på kameraet, hvis man gerne vil have et ordentligt billede af den lille havfrue. And she is coming up here soon on your right side. Hun kommer også lige lidt på vores højre side. Coming right here. Yes, the beautiful symbol here of Copenhagen. Very small. Very little. Yes, but she was actually a gift to Copenhagen by the brewer Jacobsen, and he was the son of the other brewer, Lise Jacobsen, who founded Carlsberg, you know, probably the best beer in the world. Yeah, and he had gone to the ballet where he fell in love with the ballerina who played the Little Mermaid. So he asked her if he could have a statue made of her as the mermaid, and she said yes, but she could only model for the face. So fortunately the wife was an artist, she wanted to do the rest of the modeling for the body, and then the artist could also add a mermaid tail at the end. Yeah, så det lille havfrue er faktisk en gave til Lise Jacobsen, der er Carlsberg. Og han har jo været i teateret, hvor han simpelthen blev elsket der ballerina, der spillede den lille havfrue i det her teaterstykke. Og så spurgte han, om han ikke også havde lavet en statue af, og det var han gerne. Men hun ville altså kun stå model til ansigtet, så heldigvis var det sådan, at kunstnerens kone stod model til resten, og så kunne han altså også tilføje et havlokale i enden. Yeah, and if you would like to see her from the shore, we do also have the on-off passes that go out here, and you get a 20% discount with the ticket that you bought for the boat. Ja, så hvis man gerne vil se hende fra bredden, så kan man altså få 20% rabat til den billet, som man købte til båden på vores morgen. And just one last thing about the mermaid, because she is a great attraction here in Copenhagen, but she has actually been through a lot, and she's been sitting here for around 110 years, so a long time, but she has actually been decapitated twice. She's also lost her arm several times. She's been covered in paint, and then once she also went to China, but this was on purpose. So we sent her to the World Exhibition, and to make her feel like home sitting in China for some months, we also sent 10,000 liters of water from the harbor with her to China, and then instead we just had a flat screen live streaming her sitting in China. And this is not even a joke, this happened, yeah. Ja, så den lille havfrue, hun har også været igennem lidt af hvert. Hun har jo siddet på den her sten i cirka 110 år, men hun har altså mistet hovedet 2 gange. Hun har også mistet armen flere gange, så hun har været dækket af maling. Og så har hun også været i Kina, da hun skulle deltage i verdensudstillingen. Og der sendte man altså også lige 10.000 liter vand med fra havnen til Kina, så hun kunne sidde i sit eget vand. Og så i stedet for, så har man bare en af de sådan en livestream, der sad i Kina, der hvor hun er and here the water is actually very deep, and that's very good because we will have a lot of visitors in the cruise ships in the summer. og der er Mærsk faktisk rigtig travlt. Det er faktisk ansvarligt for cirka 10% af alle container, som bliver sejlet rundt omkring i verden, og vi kan se udvider her, og der har vi altså det her hvide telt, hvor vi kan se deres logo. Der har vi sådan en lyseblå baggrund med en hvid stjerne med 7 takker, og hvis man spørger Mærsk, så siger de, at vi ser de 7 verdenshav, vi sejler på. Men hvis man spørger dem, der arbejder der, så kan vi nok se, at vi ser de 7 dage om ugen, som de arbejder for at få det hele til at køre rundt. Yeah, and also on your right side, just behind this large boat here, we have 3 large warehouses, and these warehouses here, they stand as a reminder of the Danish history, because also here in Denmark, we had the colonies, other places in the world, like many other countries at the time, and Denmark had colonies in North Africa, Korea, also in the West Indies, which today is the US Virgin Islands, and when they would come back from these colonies, they would bring a lot of stuff with them, for example, spices, sugar, cotton, and also wares from England, and they would store them in these houses here. So obviously they're not in use for that anymore. The first one has been turned into a sculpture museum, and the 2 other ones are apartments now. Ja, så har vi 3 pakhus inde på højre side, så har brugt dengang Danmark havde de 4 både Grønland, Afrika og Dansk Vestindien. Og når man kom tilbage fra de her kolonier, så havde man jo tænkt med sig, at de skulle have et sted at være. Og det var altså herinde, de blev opbevaret. Så selvfølgelig det er brugt til det ligger det første i stedet for et museum, og det tror jeg, at er nedladet op til lejligheder. Yeah, now something different is coming up, because also on our right side we have a small park, and just behind the park we have we can see 2 large base mansions here with dark roofs. These here, there are actually 4 of these mansions, and this here is the Royal Palace of Amalienborg. So that's where our king, Frederik X, he lives with his Queen Mary, and their 4 children. They are living in the mansion closest to us. And then his queen, the former Queen Margrethe II, she lives in the mansion just across. Ja, så har vi altså Amalienborg her på højre side. Vi har store base palæer med de mørke tag, og det er altså her, hvor kong Frederik X bor sammen med dronning Mary og deres 4 børn, og så bor dronning Margrethe altså i det palæ lige overfor. And that was actually these 4 mansions were not originally built for the royal family, but there was a fire at the palace of Christiansborg, and then the royal family, they needed a place to go, so they went here, and they have actually just stayed here ever since. So yeah, 2 of the mansions are for living in, 1 is for parties, and the other one has been turned into a museum. Ja, så det var faktisk ikke engang meningen, at de her 4 palæer, de skulle være simpelthen det sted, hvor kongefamilien boede. Men da Christiansborg brændte ned, så manglede de et sted at tage hen, og så blev de tilbudt at flytte ind her, og så er de altså bare været her lige siden. Og der er altså 2 af palæerne, hvor der er nogen, der bor, og så ellers så er der et, der er til gallerfester, og det sidste palæ er lavet op til et museum. Yeah, and also I hope you can follow it's a large fountain, but just behind the fountain we have a statue here, and this here is King Frederik V on his horse, and this statue here actually cost more to build than the 4 mansions combined. Yes. Ja, så har vi altså rytterstatuen af Frederik V inde i midten, og jeg håber I kan se den på springvandet, og den kostede faktisk mere at bygge end de 4 palæer til sammen. Yeah, and I also hope you all got to enjoy the beautiful marble church here, also in the middle of these 4 mansions. It has this nice green roof, and this church here was inspired by the Peter's Church in Rome, and we wanted it to be really big, but then we went bankrupt. Yeah, it took us 150 years to finish the building, but now we actually have the biggest church dome in all of Northern Europe, so I would say a pretty good result. And you can also visit the dome on weekends if you want, and you can visit the church just on normal weekdays as well. Ja, så håber jeg alle så den flotte marmorkirke, vi stadig til spiret herfra, den grønne spir. Og det er altså, ja, den er inspireret af Peterskirken i Rom. Det tog faktisk 150 år at fuldføre byggeriet, fordi vi gik i statsbanken, hvor der ville gerne have, skulle en kæmpe kirke. Men vi endte med at bygge den største kirke i hele Norden, så man kan besøge i weekenden, eller så kan man altså komme ind i kirken bare på normale hverdage også. Yeah, and also coming up in front of us on our right side, we have this modern building here with a lot of windows and a dark round roof. This here is the new Royal Theatre, and it was built as the latest addition to the old Royal Theatre down on the King's New Square. And they have a lot of different plays going on in there almost every night of the week. For example, right now they have the Little Mermaid as a theatre going on, and of course also when they were done building, they had to choose which play to be the first in there, and they ended up choosing Hamlet by Shakespeare, because yeah, if we have any any Shakespeare fans, you know that Hamlet is a Danish crown prince living in the castle of Kronborg, only 40 kilometers up at the coast. This castle still exists and is also open to the public. So if you're interested in Renaissance history or just a very big Shakespeare fan, I can definitely recommend taking the train up and do like a half-day trip. It is really worth the trip. Ja, så har vi altså det nye skuespillerhus her, det nye til jer inde på vores højre side, som er altså den sidste tilføjelse til den gamle scene nede på Kongens Nytorv. Og der har vi en masse forskellige teater nærmest hver aften. Og lige nu har vi blandt andet Den Lille Havfrue som et skuespil derinde. Og da man var færdig med byggeriet, så skulle man selvfølgelig vælge, hvad for et skuespil, der skulle være det første derinde. Og der valgte man altså Hamlet af Shakespeare, det var altså Hamlet af Shakespeare, And this year, when we get into the smaller canal, it's also a quiet zone because a lot of people are living very close to the canal. So also houseboats in the canal. So again, out of respect for them, I will be having a quiet time with the microphone, and I will speak again when we're out in the big harbor. You guys are still warm, and we'll just talk with each other, and I will warn you about the bridges. Ja, så kommer vi i Kristianshavnskanalen her lidt. Vi vil også have en pleasure here, nærmest ved Station Amsterdam. Og det er altså meget populært sted at bo. Der er mange, der bor meget tæt på kanalen, så jeg kan i en spillezone. Og jeg skal selvfølgelig nok advare jer brugere, I er selvfølgelig stadigvæk velkommen til at tage min nat ud over det. Så taler jeg altså ikke før vi er ude i den store havn igen. venstre side, så har vi rigtig godt kigge på frelse kirke, og man vælger lige op i siden og pas på hovedet under.